Today we're going to look at a pen that was sent to me by Giardino Italiano, an Italian fountain pen shop, and they were in existence for 20 years, which is very nice. I always like it when pen shops make it, when they stick around for a while and don't just disappear, because this is what keeps our hobby alive, right? So Susanna sent this pen to me. It's a pen she had made by Visconti. It's exclusive to her shop, so if you want it, I will put a link below to the Giardino shop. I'm going to cover the pen, cover the parts of the pen, tell what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. Let's first have a look at the box. It's the box that we have seen before in the Visconti Van Gogh pens. And I kind of like it. It's a very nice. I kind of like this wedge shape. It's interesting. Cardboard outer sleeve. We have the box in Visconti's fake leather. It pops open. There's a couple of things. Card, of course, with all the information about the pen. It's a limited edition, so the number, etc. There's a pen sleeve. It's one of those little Visconti nib-shaped bookmarks. And here you have the name of the company, Giardino Italiano. Okay, the pen is called Giardino dell'Eden. I'm just going to say Eden because I'm going to make it half English, half Italian. So the Garden of Eden, right? We look at the pen in a second. A little booklet. There's of course a warranty booklet in there. Everything is there. This pen is based on the Rembrandt model. So it has the rounded off shape. Interesting pen model, magnetic cap, range of nib options available, extra fine through broad. There is a stub too. These are the steel nibs, not the palladium nibs. Steel nibs, number 5, large option or range of options of nibs, and a lot of fun. So let's cover the parts of the pen here. If you've ever held a Rembrandt, then this will look familiar. At the top there, the finial is the Visconti logo. There is the clip. Some people hate it, some people love it. I like it. I think it's great. Modeled after the Ponte Vecchio bridge in Florence. And this is the from the time when these sides of the clip actually still had enamel on it, as opposed to being laser engraved. This pen has a very interesting decoration. They call it scrimshaw. As I understand the term scrimshaw, that is a technique that you have to perform on bone. And this is clearly not bone, so I could be wrong, but in any case, it's etched in there. And of course, it is the tree of life, right? With all the apples, you know the story. There was Adam and Eve. They could eat from any tree in the garden, but they could not eat from the tree of life. And there was the serpent, and the serpent convinced them to have an apple anyway, etc. Now the fun thing is, you have all these apples, you have that tree, but hidden is the serpent. Now every time I do, I actually have to have a good look at this, but okay, located it again. Right there, above my finger, right there, that's the serpent. So the fun thing is, you can give this pen to someone and say, okay, it's my new pen, it's the Garden of Eden. Have a look, find the serpent. And it takes you a couple of minutes because it's nicely hidden, which I think is a nice feature. Okay, so just so you know, this clip, spring-loaded. A little hard to do, I just cut my nail, so I can't really operate it otherwise, but works well. Then we have the center band, which says Giardino Italiano, name of the shop, and it says 1996 to 2016, so last year, 20th anniversary, which as I said, I think is nice. We have the barrel, which gently tapers down to the end there, and then you have a little silver sort of end thing going on. Cap is magnetic. One question I received quite a lot after my Rembrandt review is, does it also work for posting, that magnetic thing? No. This does not pop into place magnetically. It only works for the capping. Alright? And it is secure, which is nice. Section. Metal. tapers down, has a little ring there, and then you have the nib, little reflective, so I'm trying to show off the detail. There's some scroll work there. I got this with the steel stub nib. I had a similar thing for the Rembrandt. I had that Dutch Rembrandt set, which was orange and had a little Dutch flag on top, but it also came with one of these nibs, and the the steel Visconti stub nibs I've always found very pleasant. Nice line variation. I think it's 1.3 millimeters, but it's pleasant, nice, smooth, very nice line variation, and pretty crisp, so you can really get nice line variation out of it, and even use it for calligraphy, and that's how it was sold for my Rembrandt, as a calligraphy nib. Barrel unscrews, converter, cartridge converter filled, comes with a converter, so you can immediately just dip it in the ink. I would clean it, but dip it in the ink and write with it. So very nice, complete set. Okay, so there you have it. That's the pen. Now, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Limited edition pen. 100 pens in the teal, 100 pens in black. There are fountain pens and roller balls. I don't know if it is 100 roller balls and 100 fountain pens, or if a part of that 100 is rollerball and fountain pen. I may have missed that online, but I couldn't really find it, so maybe that was just me. In any case, limited edition, and the price is 198 euros, which, to be honest, I didn't think was that terrible. If you consider it's a 100 pen limited edition, it's a Visconti. Yes, it's not one of their super fancy models with power fillers and all that, but what you have here is a pretty reliable writer. Also, I think a size that works for many people. It's not a super large pen, it's not a small pen, it's a normally sized pen. Some Viscontis are really big, so I think that was a good choice, because this makes the pen usable for a lot of people, and it does post, and then you have a really nice, comfortable size, I would say. I like that. I like the design. I haven't seen the black in person, but this teal I think is very nice, a very nice color. It looks a little bit metallic, and I like it. I like this, the etching. I'm very willing to call it scrimshaw, but the work they did on it is nice. The tree, it looks cute with the apples. It's clear that some attention went into it, and the nice thing is that from a distance you don't really see it's a tree and apples. You just see there's some sort of pattern on it, which I think works very well. It makes for a very nice, attractive design, and once you hold it up close, you really see it. So there's a lot of fun in that. The magnetic cap, it's a nice touch. It's something, I mean, not unique to this pen. They do that in the Rembrandt, they do that in the Michelangelo. So I mean, it's not unique, but it's fun. It has a bit of a novelty factor. I've heard reports of the magnet on the inside starting to corrode, I guess because it's in contact with liquid ink, just droplets of ink, etc. Because when you do cap it, of course, things can vibrate a little bit of ink can become aerosolized and just fly out. So I haven't experienced it in this pen. I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I haven't had any corrosion, but I do know that is a complaint people have had in the past, and maybe that is resolved now. I don't really know. So if you have this pen or you have another one and your inner magnet has corroded, do let me know. Leave a comment, because it's interesting also for other viewers, I think, to figure that out. Okay, so I like it. I think it's a nice pen, nicely made, nicely designed, has a number of cool features. If I have to nitpick, there's a couple of things I would say. That magnetic, the rusting thing could be an issue. One issue I had is that the capping, the magnets, I don't know exactly how this works, if it's a magnet all around or if it's two separate magnets, but I have the feeling it's something along the lines of the latter, because you see there it snapped in place as I'm rotating it. So if you don't cap it the right way, like this, you kind of have to push it in there a bit to make it snap. So there it snapped again. So it can be a little bit difficult to cap. It's not really a big deal, because if you exert a little bit of force or twist it a little bit, then, you know, it's capped, and it's capped securely. So not a really big deal, but it is something to you know, as I said, if I have to nitpick, that's one issue. Another point is this section is metal, and some people hate that. I haven't really had any issues, but some people do say that their metal Visconti sections are a bit prone to pitting, so mean, you use it, you sweat, there is always some stuff in your skin. The metal can pit a little bit. Clearly this is a fairly new pen, but that can happen, and even if that doesn't happen, it is a metal section, and metal can be slippery. If you sweat a little bit, it can get a little, it can rotate a little bit and do some stuff. So I have not really had a lot of issues with that. It doesn't really seem to bother me, but I can imagine if you do pages and pages of writing at a time, then maybe such a section is not ideal for you. But as I said, I've tested it fairly extensively. I haven't really had that issue. So there you have it. We need to see how it writes. Very nice stub nib, as I said, so I really enjoyed that. Let's do that. Susanna, thank you for sending me one. I appreciate it. That's all there's to it. High resolution pictures, as well as measurements of the pen, will be on the website sbrebrown.com. That's all there's to it. Hope this was useful so far, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go. Whoops, with the Visconti Giardino dell'Eden. The ink is inspired blue by Waterman, and this is the stub nib. Which, as you can see, offers a nice bit of line variation. Fast writing. It's a large nib. I mean, it's broad, so it has some serious ink demands, and if you really go super fast, you'll run into issues. But I don't think anyone will write this quickly with this pen. Wetness. It's not an ultra wet writer, so that is something to take into account. Line variation, of course, the pen or the nib is ground in such a way that you get natural line variation, but if you really push down on it, you can squeeze out even more. And I did that not super slowly, so you see there's a little bit of railroading, but it keeps up reasonably well. Turning this nib upside down doesn't really make sense because it is a stub nib, so reverse writing is not really possible, but that really makes more sense with round nibs anyway, so forget about that. And that's all there's to it. I think it's a very fun nib that will definitely lend some pizzazz to your everyday writing. It's also a nib that would not perform too shabbily for calligraphic purposes. So it's fun, and I'm definitely happy that this nib option is available. It's also very smooth. So in that regard, it's very pleasant to use. And there you have it. So Susanna, thank you very kindly for sending me this pen. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye-bye. Bye.